What's good with y'all, Scorps? This is Scorpio Only Tarot. I figured I'll share some more wisdom and knowledge. I'll be talking about how to disintegrate fear. Okay, to the people out there, the ones that are trapped in fear. When you acknowledge the fact that fear is false evidence appearing real, then you will soon acknowledge your real freedom. See, the ego is what fear feeds off of. Because the ego is not even your true identity. The spirit beyond the body doesn't have an identity. It has an energy. That's the difference. You think the soul feels fear? The soul is immortal. The soul has no feelings. It just is. Like I said in my last video, it just is. It's energy. It's multi-dimensional energy. Now, when people let fears control their mind, they also are being manipulated by their own mind, which are representing messing with the neurons and having a chemical imbalance of the brain, which makes it the greatest enemy of all time. That's the toxic part. See, when we acknowledge that we are just the observer of our thoughts, and we aren't our thoughts, we're just the observer, you will then analyze things from a different perspective, from your soul's perspective. You will start seeing it from your soul's perspective. Because when you're living through the soul and you're detached from the third dimensional reality, now you do indeed have to have the ego to focus, okay, somewhat, all right, to have a balance somewhat between the third dimension and the fifth dimension. Because your soul experiences all dimensions. That's the confusing part for some people. But when you know how to balance out that ego and listen to your soul and go based off your intuition, you will then be guided to your life's purpose. See, the ego wants to let fear step in the way and let doubt consume your energy and let doubt consume the time. But time is an illusion. It's not real. Time is just a machine, just like I said in my last video. I'm going to take some information from my last video. Time is just a machine. Where the hell is time at? If you turn your phone off, turn the stove off, take the digital time down or unplug the digital time, take the clock off the wall, where's the time at? It's just numbers that could be used as a code through synchronicities as a message. That's the way I decode numbers, digital numbers. 444 333 222 111 10 10 11 11 12 12. That's codes. That's angelic codes, universal codes. And when you're living through your soul's perspective, you know how to decode those codes. You know how to break the code. Because you're at the right level of frequency and vibration to tune into those numbers, to listen and tune into the frequency beyond them. Because those numbers are frequency. They're frequencies. And it's a message beyond that. There's a reason why it keeps on catching your attention. See, just like I said in one of my other videos when I talked about, if you never take a leap of faith towards something that you really want, then how are you going to get it? Actions has to be involved. And fear will stop the actions, which are representing the ego. It will throw your mind into this loop, this never-ending dark rabbit hole. It's a black hole right here. It would just throw you into a funnel, a swirling type of funnel, full of dark thoughts that don't even come from you. It comes from the ego. Because the ego is living in a tunnel vision perspective. It don't have openness like the soul does, which are representing the third eye. See, the ego is what we was taught. The ego is what we was taught. But when you challenge the belief system, and you challenge and you question what you was taught, you then start going within. Okay? I know I'm kind of getting off topic, but I'm going to keep on speaking. When you start questioning the belief system, and you start going within, then guess what? You find the answers within yourself, which it comes from source, intuition. Intuition is a higher powered level of wisdom. Okay, but wisdom is learned through experience, which I'm representing giving you proper decision making. It gives you good judgment. It's not that we judge ourselves, but we take an inner self-reflection on our actions towards reality, right? Which I'm representing wisdom. But in order to have wisdom, you must experience. Nobody could be taught wisdom. Wisdom has to come from the source. That's where wisdom comes from. But anyways, when you let fear consume you, you limit your reality. This is the biggest prison right here. It could be the biggest prison. You could literally be locked up in a jail cell and have more freedom in that jail cell than you can in the mind. Because the mind, if you lock down mentally, your freedom is stripped completely from you. Because anybody could walk around in the physical out there in this physical third dimensional reality and still feel confined within the mind. It happens every day. And it's from the ego. From fear-based energy. That's illusional. You can't believe everything you see on the TV and stuff like that. You can't believe everything you see on the media, the TV. If you didn't have all that trying to program your mind, then how would you even know the definition of fear if it wasn't taught to you? Fear wouldn't exist. You wouldn't even know what fear is. Because you wouldn't constantly have it programmed in your head, which are representing challenging and questioning the belief system. So when you really want something, you go for it. I don't give a damn how your ego tries to tell you. Because when you're living through the soul, bro, when you got your third eye activated, you're going to see straight through things and you're going to trust your intuition. Because intuition don't go based off fear. It does pick up bad energy. It does tune in the energy. It can hear it, it can see it, and more so can feel it. Because that's your sense. That's your sixth sense. It gives you the ability to see, feel, and to acknowledge what the truth is. And it is your most accurate guide. So when you're feeling pushed towards a certain direction, that's your intuition. Your ego will start telling you things. Oh, nah, you ain't going to be good at that. Well, watch me. You don't know shit. That's what I tell the ego. You don't know shit. You just know what the energy around out there, the fear-based energy that was trying to be programmed into my head. But when you question that and you reprogram your mind, you then have a fresh and open, expanded layer of consciousness. Because that's what you are on the inside. On the inside is consciousness. Multidimensional. And when you acknowledge the fact that you're a multidimensional being, you can do any damn thing that you want to do out there when your ego is grounded and balanced. You're always going to have the ego, just like I said, in order to have the balance within the third dimensional reality out there, because we are a human. But we do have a soul on the inside of the body. And that's what you should trust 100,000% of the time. Because your soul knows what's best. Your ego don't. Because the ego lives through expectations. What are expectations? It's not reality. It's illusions that block reality. It's like I said in one of my other videos. It's illusions that block reality. And when reality is blocked, therefore you're living through a limited perspective, tunnel vision, which is incredibly dangerous for the soul. It's almost like you're suppressing your soul. But when you're living through the soul, you will take leaps of faith without 1 ounce of fear being inside your body. Because you know what you're about. You know what your soul is about. You will go for your passions. You will go for things that at one time you used to fear. You ain't going to have that fear no more, because when you're living through your soul doesn't feel. Okay, it sounds kind of contradicting because you do have a sixth sense. Your soul does give you the ability to feel energy. But at the same time, it doesn't have this fear inside of it, because the soul is immortal. It will forever live and live and live and live. The soul is energy. It's multidimensional. And when you tune into that energy, fear no longer exists. as false evidence appearing real, just like I got through saying a few minutes ago. You would take a leap of faith towards something that your soul is calling for. All while the ego tries to become the worst prison, the biggest prison system to try to lock you down. And when you're trapped up here, you are also trapped physically. You may be able to walk around out there. You may be able to have your physical freedom, but mental freedom is way greater than the physical, because mental freedom, you also have the ability to tap into different dimensions through your spiritual side. Because the pineal gland is located right directly in the middle of the forehead, right here. You go straight back in the middle of the forehead is where the pineal gland is located, which will represent the third eye. And when the pineal gland is stimulated, that's when the third eye will open. That's what you see your dreams with. Because once you acknowledge the fact, and I'm kind of going all over the place, this is just going to be a spiritual video. When you acknowledge the fact that you can never fall asleep, that you just fall into a deeper level of consciousness, then you will start acknowledging that you aren't the mind. You aren't the mind. Because the mind is part of the physical body. The soul is who you are. That's why you shouldn't take credibility for your name. Okay? You shouldn't hold an attachment to your name. You shouldn't hold an attachment to your social security number. You shouldn't hold an attachment to the weeks, the days, the time. And that's why I recommend y'all becoming your own boss. Because who the hell wants to work for people out there and slave all their life? Because that's what it is. And my perception, that's what it is. If you ain't working for yourself, you basically slaving at a job you really don't like. That's if you don't like that job. You slaving for something that you can have a greater purpose at by being your own boss. But fear, the ego, things that you've been told by other people, oh, you ain't never going to be successful at that. How the hell they know what you're going to be successful at? Or are they beyond your body? Hell no, they're not. So how can they determine your life's purpose? They have no clue. It's a projection of doubt and fear that's projected from their perspective and trying to get inside your mind in order to feed the ego more in order to lock you down. You're capable of any damn thing that you want to do because you have your freedom. But just like I said, see, a lot of people have that fear of first starting out, but you have to start out somewhere. You have to believe. Believing is power. Believing is power. See, the fear is doubt. That's what strips your power completely away. Is when you're living in that fear-based energy. But when you have that power within your soul, then you will go after things that your soul is calling for and will be highly successful at it because your soul knows ahead of time what you're capable of doing and knows what kind of success you are going to achieve. It's already been achieved. Why you think your soul knows what direction to pull you towards? Because it sees into the future. It sees what you're capable of. The ego doesn't see it because it don't have that expansion. The ego don't have that expansion to expand to that type of level to see it from what the soul sees it as. Y'all get what I'm saying? Because how can you see things from all perspectives when you have tunnel vision? If you look into a tunnel, it has the sides, right? Now you see light at the end of the tunnel, but you can't see outside that tunnel when you're in it because it's closed off. You're only seeing what's in front. You don't see all around the tunnel. Well, you can see around it like inside the tunnel, but it's a closed, it's confined space. That's what it is. That's what I'm going to call it. All you can see is the walls on the side that come down like that, the tunnel. Now, when you're outside the tunnel, guess what you can see all around? Well, you got your peripheral vision. But it's a different perspective when you're outside that tunnel, right? That's all about having an open mind. That's how your soul operates when you outside that tunnel. It's an analogy. When you're in a tunnel, you only see the walls that are blocking the outside. But when you outside that tunnel, you see things for what they are. You see all over. From your peripheral vision, you could damn near see behind you. Okay? To the way corner. Oh, how can I explain this? Yeah, almost damn near behind you. When you're outside that tunnel. But when you're in a tunnel, you have those walls. You can't see what's on the outside of it. You only see what's ahead. And that's a limited perspective. But when you're outside that tunnel, you see everything. That's what your soul is capable of doing. So will y'all let fear stop y'all? Or will you put fear in check and put the ego in check and start going after what your soul is calling you to do? Because just like I said, y'all, when you conquer your fear, you will then acknowledge that fear was just an illusion. It's just an illusion. It's a word made up. Okay? It's all it is a low vibrational energy. When you're vibrating at a high level of frequency, that energy can't touch you, bro. I'm telling you. Energy can't touch you. Because all it is just a word, but it's the energy beyond that word that they try to brainwash you with. But if you don't believe in it, then guess what? It gives it zero power. See, belief, that's power. But if you don't give it the belief, then you starve it of its power. That's another fact. The power comes from within. Source. Because source is power. It's energy. Because how can a body operate just off of the human blood in the veins and the heart, the mind, when the soul is not in the body? You have to have a soul in the body, or else that body would be pointless. That's my wisdom and knowledge on a spiritual topic. All right, Scorp? It's going to be way off topic from tarot, but I figured I'd share my spiritual knowledge with y'all. All right? That's that Sagittarius North Node rise and wisdom. Along with Scorpio, too. I just figured I'd share it. All right? Y'all take it easy out there. Much love to y'all. Peace out, Scorp.